This video is sponsored by you. Grab our all-in-one bundle and get access to over 1.5 terabytes of royalty-free sounds that you can use for your sound design, music, and post-production projects. Use the code F2S5 for $5 off and get our entire library plus future uploads for only $20.
Now, I got a lot of questions lately on Instagram about our reels. Now what we're doing is we're using original sounds and then I recreate them. So I do a little bit of sound design. So I'm not a professional sound engineer or sound designer. I just have a lot of fun using these original sound recordings and then create something completely new out of it. I did not know that I would have success on Instagram with this, but while I'm doing this all over and over again, it got some traction and it seems like that people enjoy it. What is even more important is that I enjoy it. And I hope that in this video I can show you several resources and plugins that are completely for free, so you can do the same. Now before we get started, again, everything that we're using, all the resources and plugins are free available. Also the sounds that we're using. If you go to our website, that we have a category with free sound effects and we have over 140 sound libraries that you can use, and then you can start manipulating these sounds. So the first sounds that we're going to drop in is the door hinge. And when you use Ableton Light, especially as a beginner, and also for me when I started out, simpler was always my best friend. I just love using my own samples and then recreate whatever comes in my mind. So I never have a plan or a structure, I just do however I feel like it. Now, in order to find simpler, all what we need to do is we just look for it. Here, simpler, boom. And that means drop sample here, and that's where you can drop in your sample. I use a Novation keyboard, but if you don't have a keyboard, you can also just start using the keyboard on your MacBook or on your computer. And all what we're doing is right now, we're just playing the notes. And every time I use a different note, the tone is either higher or lower. Let's see, let's start with this one. Now let's go higher, really high. Now let's go really low. Recorded with the $1, $2 contact microphone. And this one was very surprising for me because the frequency range was so high and really rich. And that's great when you use recordings that don't create this artificial sound, especially when you start changing the pitch. And that's why it's, for me, always important to provide sounds that have a higher frequency, especially if we make sound design libraries or like original sound recordings that sound designer are going to use. Okay, now what we're doing is we're using a free plugin. So we don't touch the sound, we keep it how it is, and all what we're doing is we drop in a Valhalla plugin. Now if you're thinking about, is he going to use Valhalla Supermassive, then I can say, no, I don't. I'm using the Valhalla, not Supermassive, we're actually using the Shimmer. Now, if you're wondering, or if you know, hold on, the Shimmer Reverb is not free. It's not free, but the demo versions are free. And what's so great about this demo version is, or what Valhalla does, is it gives you 45 seconds each time you start using this plugin. So 45 seconds, cut off, 45 seconds. It won't expire. And if you do sound effects, that's totally enough. But I would always recommend everyone, especially if you're into sound design, into music production, and you know you want to do more, then that you support the creator and the engineer from Valhalla, just because it is an amazing plugin. And just every plugin that Valhalla has are absolutely amazing. Now let's just change this to big stereo here. And we'll see what happens if we hit the key now. Ooh. absolutely amazing. Let's go a little higher. When you hear this, that's because of the 45 seconds. You see, that's when it stops. And then it restarts again. It just has this nice tail. What is if we just use different notes here? We hold this. And we're just using one reverb, the Valhalla Shimmer. And I think alone this is absolutely amazing. Again, we used a contact microphone for $2. We used the Zoom F3 to record this. But you can find these sounds for free, and then you can start using them. And then you can play around with Shimmer. You can use all the different parameters and just play around with it. Now let's move over to a different sound. Alright, so the next one is actually the Loam Geophone. And this is this reel. Now we record this in Vando on this big long rail, and just the hit of it and the vibrations with the Loam Geophone was absolutely amazing. But you can't really hear it if you don't have headphones, because it has this really low rumble but this natural tail. Let me turn off this reverb really quick because we don't need all the shimmer, and we just keep this running also again just through the keyboard. I don't know where we are right now, so I'm just going to play it and listen. You hear this? Bam. But we bring this up, we make this really big later. You hear this, but it sounds a little distorted, right? And that's because of the impact from my hand. So what we're doing is, let's use a different Valhalla plugin. Let's use the Valhalla Room. See if I can find this really quick. Go to here to plugins. And then there it is. Everything is nicely organized. So let's see what we can do with the Valhalla Room here. Again, this is all default right now, so I'm not changing anything. Otherwise, that's when it starts. When you start moving stuff around, time flies by. It's insane how much hours you can spend doing this. Let's just change one parameter. Yeah, because actually, this is actually important to mention. This is also a demo version. It's free for you to download. And the difference with Shimmer is there aren't any presets. But here, within Valhalla Room, also with the 45 seconds, everything is free. Everything is available. You have all these reverbs here. Let's try this one. And now what we're doing, maybe you're asking yourself, is it the only plugin that I can use when I use Ableton? No. And what we're doing is we just put the Shimmer plugin behind the room. So this is also things you can do. So there's an unlimited amount of options here that you can drop in here. But if you look here on the right side, that's depends on how strong your computer is. That's when it ends. I remember doing it on a MacBook Air once and I couldn't even do anything. So the processor has to be a good one. Let's see if we can hear a difference. So what I just did is I turned on the aperture here on my keyboard. If you don't have that, then you can also go here into the search function and you look for an arpeggiator, sorry. Arpeggiator. Now turn this off here and see what happens if you just keep this running. It sounds like when you are in a church, and you have the organ, right? It's so big and it is absolutely fantastic. And the last sound in this video that I would like to show you is an electromagnetic sound effect, and I recorded this one in the train from Bangkok to Chiang Mai on an air condition. Everything turned off. Let's turn off the arpeggiator, and this is just the sound, how it sounds. And this is amazing what you can do. If you have sounds like this, you can cut through the frequency and it never really sounds artificial. It's absolutely amazing. I'll go a little lower. It's the lowest here. Let's just use this one and see what happens if we turn on the arpeggiator. This is amazing. All right, we just keep it like this. And now all what we're doing is we're using another free reverb from Valhalla. Or not free, just the demo version. And that's the vintage one. So I personally actually never really used this one because I love the Valhalla room. That's absolutely fantastic. But let's see what we can do with the vintage reverb. Oh, it looks already cool. Now we have an alert, right here. I just changed the octave to go up a little bit. You see, I'm just changing the key here, and that's it. You see, there's already a complete different sound, and we haven't even moved yet. Imagine now we go over here and see what's happened. The options are absolutely limitless here at this point. Now let's try the shimmer one more time and see if there are any kind of differences here. This is how it sounds like if we turn off the arpeggiator and we just let this run through. This is the last part. Let's see. Just this part. Wow, you know, when I do this stuff, I have no plan, and I thought this is one of the best. It's kind of like... I love things with big reverb. It's my favorite thing to do. I just wanted to show you what plugins I use and what resources to create these sound effects for our Instagram account. Well, I'm recording the sounds myself, but you can use these sounds for your project. Please feel free to check out our website at freedosounds.com. There is a category with free sound effects that will bring you over to our Bandcamp account, and you will find over 140 sound libraries that you can use to start your sound design or music production journey. Having something like Ableton Lite and using the Valhalla plugins is really a great start. But if you want to see more free plugins, then I would highly recommend you check out Venus Theory's videos about free plugins, and then you can use them also within Ableton Lite. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to see you in our next video.